Yes, I'm in a different setting right now, but doing the same thing, charging my car. This is I want to bring up this topic for quite some time since ever that since the first time I actually own an EV. Is that are we marketing electric vehicles to the right people? The reason being is how come as of now this is being recorded in early 2020, March 2020 that is that how come we still at least on the road we see a relatively small number for EVs now, even though I may not want to film them, but actually there's two more EVs parked right next to me who are charging. Now let's get back to the so-called question at hand. Are we marketing to the wrong people for EVs? And honestly, to me, the answer is somewhat yes. Now, of course, we all know that the general public as of now is still relatively new as far as understanding EVs. Now, let me bring up one. I wouldn't say a sad story, but at least it's a to me it's a sad story, but to to normal people, oh yeah, they just bought a car. My parents in particular recently also bought a new vehicle. Now the sad part is that it's not an EV. As what again most people love, which is SUV. Which honestly, as of now, I really don't understand the point that why anybody want to buy a SUV slash crossover slash hatchback, whatever you want to call it, that is in an SUV form. That why people are continuing buying that type of vehicle. Now, of course, the excuse, oh yeah, well, you need more cargo, you need more space because of family, blah blah blah, whatever. The real reason is that honestly, crossovers SUVs are actually a little bit more higher as far as seating position and driving position is concerned. It's higher. So, and we all know now people that when you're staying low to the ground, they don't like it. They want to sit higher up so they can see. Apparently, what they believe is that you see further, and that's why you have more a commanding position of the road. Having said that, you see more collisions ever happen before in an SUV, because apparently, even though that oh yeah, I have a higher seating position, I have a better command of the road, they still crash, which I don't know why. Well, that may be the system perhaps that we should honestly retrain how people actually get the license, but that's another topic altogether. This is about EVs and EVs only. But getting to the point that we are talking to the wrong people just because that number one, they really don't understand EVs, and of course what the general news media who are jumping up pandemics and Armageddons everywhere, but not really understand to the core that we should be educating people. The news media outlet in general should be, at least in my mind, should be educating people and not to put fear into them. But guess what? I hate to say this. They are jumping up all types of fear because again, it's what sells. In this case, though, it sells. And of course, what does most news media outlet are backed up by? Simple, oil companies. Where else do you think they get the funding from? So, having said that, because they're backed up by big oil, do you think for one reason that they will encourage people, at least the general public, to buy EVs? The answer is no. Now, of course, we are continue to be spoon-fed information from the media. Now, I don't want to make this video to be continuing bashing how people get the information and continue just bashing how the general public are being so stupid and being so misled by the media. I don't want to do that, because if I were to do that, this video will be 5 hours. But I'll sum it all up to the point that we should be targeting, as far as EV is concerned, we should be targeting people who are more tech savvy. The EV community are usually the types of people who are more willing and are more tolerating for understanding and using technologies, while the general public, which in this case 90% of them, don't. We should be selling EVs to people who are more technology driven in order for this adoption to be quick and somehow seamless too. Because if this is not the case, which as of now is not the case, this EV adoption would not go any further than what it is right now. So instead of really bombarding the aspect of, oh, we're saving the planet, we're doing this, we're doing that, forget it. Because again, the general public really don't care. I hate to say this though. Human beings are just selfish in general. That's a fact. You're saving the planet, you are doing all this good things to other human beings. I can tell you this, in general public don't care. Because 9 times out of 10 they go, what's in it for me? Now of course, what's in it for them in the quotations will be, am I going to be saving money? And of course, the other sticking point aspect will be EVs are generally more expensive than a normal ICE car. Now, of course, we EV people understand that how much the big oil companies get subsidized by the government on a yearly basis. You're talking about billions and billions of dollars. And how much do the big oil companies actually subsidize you, the driver, the general public driving ICE vehicles? The number is astonishingly zero. Now, of course, I even at one point, I think I got caught up in a conversation of for people go, oh yeah, but people buying EVs, they get subsidized by the government. Okay, well, now I just brought up that point when big oil companies subsidized by the government also, and they don't even give you a penny in return. So who is really benefiting? The EV people who are buying EVs, who according to some people, oh, you're too rich. And rich people are not supposed to be subsidized. Well, guess what? Big oil companies are even richer. And they get subsidized in billions and billions of dollars. So we get subsidized by what, 5 grand? or at least 2 years ago it was 14 grand. Thanks to, again, I don't want to get into politics, thanks to the current government, at least in Ontario, to scrap that idea. But really, if you're really looking in a broader spectrum on who is really benefiting, it's the big oil companies and not your average Joe, or even in some people, or not even the rich people, or at least not rich people to a point that you own a corporation. That's a different story. But as far as people driving EVs and we are being looked at being somewhat well off, it couldn't be further from the truth. Again, in one of my previous videos, I said people who buy EVs and drive EVs, our main focus is to save money. And again, achieving that, we're not going to the gas station every single, 3 days? Okay, I'll round it up, every single week. Most people, if you're using the ratio of only going to the gas station 2 times per week, if you plug it in 2 times per week, you're spending literally $8 to fill up your car versus 100. Again, I really don't understand that why people continue complaining about, oh no, EV's enough for me because of this or that. I hate to say this though, people should really do more research instead of being spoon-fed information, but continue to be led by the media outlet by spoon-fed information that looking in the wrong place. In reality, I think we are targeting EVs to the wrong type of crowd. We should be heavily concentrated and targeting to the technology crowd, to the technical aspect, people who really want to learn and really want to experience what technologies are all about. These are the people who are in the who would be leading the cutting edge for the general public to adapt to EVs. Until that day happens, which I am hopeful that still is going to come. I mean, this thing is going to come whether you like it or not. But I think in the next 5 years, this so-called, everybody's talking about this hockey stick curve, the mass adoption and explosion of EVs, I really don't see it in the next 5 years. Again, I'm driving one, but using even my own example, my own parents just bought a nice vehicle. That really sums it up as to how. And if you say that, oh, this EV adoption will be skyrocketing, sorry. And again, I want to bring up one more point. It's not the people, say for example, it's not the general public who are, let's just say that though, living from paycheck to paycheck. These people, if you tell them to try to adopt an EV, which if you are looking at the asking price of $50,000 Canadian or above, most people living paycheck to paycheck couldn't afford it. That's a fact. But we should be talking to people who are clearly can afford to buy a $50,000 plus car, but yet not to buy an EV. Those are so-called the ever shrinking, but still middle class people we should be targeting at. If you continue targeting the general public, and this EV adoption won't come in the next 10 years. You should be specifically targeting only a certain section of the group who are more open-minded versus the general public, because I know that the general public are not open-minded. That's a fact. In fact, right now I'm looking at a Kia Niro EV who just passed me. Now, at least in this area, I want to finish this video off. At least in this GTA area, that's the first Niro EV that I've seen. This is the first, besides the dealership one, this is the first one that I've seen. And this vehicle has been out for how long now? Half a year, 6 months? And that's the first time I'm seeing a Niro EV on the road. So again, that's another topic that I don't want to get into it as of now, but thank you for watching. And again, if you don't know, please do subscribe to my channel and just keep an update on all the videos that I'll be doing for the EV series, the Tesla I series. And I recently posted a small vlog on, there may be a couple of EVs that I've been test driving in the future that, you know what, just for a fact that I think people should know more about EVs in general, and not just about Teslas, which is, again, you get all riled up for all the Tesla haters. I hate Teslas. A different stroke for different folks, as they all say. Anyway, so I'm rambling for too long. See you next time.